of Virginia. We're not in Southwest Virginia. We're not quite in Northern Virginia. I know better. I know better. But we're all affected by the potential threat to our coal and coal country and the communities that rely on that energy, mining it, working it, shipping it. That affects all of Virginia. And as you look at the potential for cap and trade bills that could be job killers across the country, but worst in some parts of Virginia that are most strained right now in this economy. And that affects us all. It affects us all. I will be an attorney general that will fight for our citizens to protect our economy from the federal intrusion that they're contemplating in Washington, be it under the 10th Amendment or be it some other way. You will have an attorney general that will say yes to Virginia citizens, no to burdensome new regulations from Washington, which our opponents will not do. They will not side with the people of Virginia in that debate. They will say no to the people of Virginia and yes to their liberal allies in Washington. And when it comes to protecting the Constitution, ladies and gentlemen, if we don't do it, if we don't protect the vision of the Founding Fathers, both in policy and in law, there's no one left to do it. It's us or no one. And we need to keep that in mind. And I know all of you here share with me a sense of how important that is, how important that history is, and nowhere more than in Virginia should we take to heart the call to arms of every generation to protect what the founders gave to us and to continue to try and improve on it year in and year out. Nowhere better than Virginia should we keep that in mind. And I hope you'll join me and support me in my effort to be an attorney general that reads the Constitution the way it was written and applies it the way it was written and protects it the way it was written. If you want a different Constitution, amend it. Don't nominate judges and don't pass laws that ignore it or rewrite it. And I'll be an attorney general that will protect our state constitution and will play the role of defender of Virginia in that process. I have an opponent, as do both of my colleagues. It really doesn't matter who gets nominated as their opponents. We're going to have issues like right to work. I was stopped on the run as we were heading back to the plane at our last stop up in my home area of Fairfax at Dulles Airport. Half of Dulles Airport is in Fairfax. And I was informed of a couple of endorsements from my opponent today, both based on his willingness to support collective bargaining. I will not support collective bargaining for public employees or private employees in Virginia. I will fight card check and the taking away of the secret ballot from the employees of Virginia and taking away the opportunity of our employers to make their case. That's about freedom, and it is about economic opportunity. Virginia has succeeded tremendously, in part because of our right to work status, and I will do everything in the power of the Attorney General's Office of Virginia to protect that and to protect the people of Virginia. And last but not least, I know the Freelance Star is here, and you all were one of the first out in the what I'll call the real world, which would be outside the General Assembly, to recognize the importance of budget transparency. You heard it mentioned here earlier. This is a battle I've been fighting for several years, working together with then Attorney General Bob McDonnell, and it's a battle we have a lot more ground to cover, But this is your government. You deserve the right to see everything going on inside it. You own this government, and that's what budget transparency and transparency in government is about. It's about making sure the owners, the sovereigns, the people of Virginia have control over their own government and can hold their politicians accountable. And we aim to say yes to giving you control of your own government. The other side won't do it, The other side won't do it. They've stood in the way for several years of meaningful budget transparency, and we will do everything in our team's power to push through real budget transparency that's even more effective than what we've been able to achieve to date. But none of this is going to be possible if you all don't say yes over the next 156 days to the help we're going to need, the work we're going to need from each one of you to help us win, and hopefully to sweep for only the second time in Virginia's history for Republicans the top 3 offices. And I know if we do that, we will add to our majority in the House of Delegates, which we need to do. We need to do to back up our senators. And I know, boy, those allies in the House are wonderful to have, I will tell you, and we need more of them. If we all work together as a team, and if we hit the ground running and work hard for 156 days, and we communicate why our principles apply to every problem that the voters of Virginia confront today, we will win this race in November, and the voters of Virginia will just say yes to this Republican ticket, and I'm proud to be part of it. Thank you all very much.
Are you ready to get to work? I'm committed today and every day until we win this election to work, and I know you guys are too, and that's exactly what we need. We're going to work this fall to pick up seats in the House and to elect this ticket. So one last time, just say yes to the winning 2009 ticket in Virginia.
All right, thank you all for coming. Great to have you out here. Thank you. Thank you. All right, now go knock on some doors. Thank you. How are you?